All right, so for our second part, it's going to go over the KW app to start off. All right, so in order to make sure that if you come back and rewatch this later on, everyone's starting at the same location. All right, then on here, I'm just going to go and go to mykw.kw.com so we can start right back at the home page. All right, so we're going to go to myKW.kw.com. All right, so once we're on myKW.kw.com, all right, let's go and click the plus sign of My Marketing, and we're going to go to Manage eAgency Website, that last option down. All right, so Manage eAgency Website, that last option down. All right, now I always like to think of the eAgency website as capital A for app. All right, the reason I like to think of that is because the eAgency website, ironically enough, was supposed to go away literally a year ago. All right, today is January 2nd. It was supposed to go away a year ago, but it's still around for some reason. But this is where we can access our app info on here. All right, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit further for you guys. All right, and this is where we can actually update, once again, all of our app info, so we can kind of go back and forth. All right. So there's only 3 different sections on here that we'll really want to focus on. I think I just said back and forth because I was thinking something else. I apologize. We're going to update our app info on here, so it'll automatically update on our app. All right, I feel like I just kind of said the same thing over and over again. My mind's going 80 miles an hour today. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is click on 1.0 for Edit Agent Team Info, and then 1.2 for Edit Contact Info. All right, so 1.0 for Edit Agent Team Info and 1.2 for Edit Contact Info. Now I'm going to go and click on that a little bit quicker than I normally would because it highlights it. All right, so you can see the different colors on here. Alright, now if you do click on that and you don't happen to see anything that pops up on here, just scroll down a little bit further. There might be a little bit of a blank space on here. Alright, then you can go through and update your info right away. Now anything that has a red asterisk mark you will need to fill out with the exception of designation. Try your hardest, you will not be able to fill this out, and it's okay if it's left blank for the time being. Alright, so on here for Agent Display Name, this is where you can display the name that you'd like to display on your KW app. All right, so whether it's going to be your personal name or whether it's going to be your team name. All right, so in most cases, I'd probably suggest putting inside your team name if you have a team name. All right, or of course... That is so creepy. I'm sorry, I got an Alexa Dot over here. Well, you got 2 Alexa Dots. I hope you guys don't have the same issue, but they randomly just start talking. It freaks me out every time. I didn't say anything with Alexa in it that I know of. I said Alexa a long time ago. Alright, so on here though, the agent display name is the name that will display at the very bottom of your app when someone first downloads it. Alright, so in this case, whenever they download your app and they open it up, it's going to have your agent display name. So if you want to display your name, fantastic. If you want to display a team name or just your branded name, that's awesome too. Alright, so completely up to you in this case. Alright. Then, of course, further down we have our email address. Alright, well, let's make sure we put inside our business email address because this is the main email that whenever someone goes through and tries to contact us, this is how they'll be able to contact us immediately. Alright, so if they ever try to contact us via email, this is the main business email address that it'll come over to. Alright, so I just want to give you a heads up on there. Right. And of course, even further down, we happen to have our address on here. And once again, just fill it out. It's not going to display anywhere. We just have to have that filled out on here. Alright, so you can just put inside your business office address. And then the phone number up here at the top right, go and put inside your main contact phone number. Main contact phone number. Alright, so whatever your main contact phone number may be. Alright, and once that's all completed, just click the Save option down here. Now, once again, this can be changed at any time. I just want to make sure you know that. Alright, but it does take about 72 hours to update. Alright, so once I click Save, it's going to have a green Save Successful option on here. Alright, and once it says Save Successful, alright, then you're all good to go. Alright. So the next thing we're going to do is click on 2.0 for Design Your Website. Alright, so 2.0 for Design Your Website. Alright, and then we're going to go to 2.4 for Edit Site Info. Alright, so 2.0 for Design Your Website and 2.4 for Edit Site Info. Alright. Now, once we click on 2.0 and 2.4, then we're going to scroll down a little bit further. Alright, and we're only going to focus on this hosting section. I just want to give you guys a heads up. We're only focusing on that hosting section. And so we're only going to focus on that hosting section on here. Alright, so under the hosting section on here, to tell you the truth, there's only two parts of the hosting section we're really going to focus on. Alright, and that's under Websites to Display. We want to make sure it says alternate on here. Alright, and then for alternate website, we want to make sure we put inside whatever website address or whatever URL or domain name we actually want to utilize. Alright, so for Websites to Display, let's make sure we put a little circle dot next to alternate on here. Alright, and then for alternate website, we're going to put inside our actual alternate website, including the HTTP or the HTTPS. So that way it'll link up properly on here. Alright. And of course, you can put inside whatever URL you want to. And once again, I know I've said this countless times, you can change it at any time, though. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to scroll down a little bit further and click that Save option down here. Alright, so we're going to click that Save option at the very bottom down here. Alright, and once we click Save, it should pop up saying Say Successful, and we're good to go. Now, not only will this allow on our app, under our My Agent section, when someone tries to visit our website, there'll be a Visit Our Website link on that agent section. Alright, but then it'll also change the Visit My Website or View My Website. I believe it actually does say Visit My Website on our KW profile. So that way, whenever they actually click on that Visit My Website link on your KW.com profile, it'll take them over to that URL instead of the eAgency site, which should have gone away a long time ago, so we don't even need to worry about it. Alright, so that's another backup for you guys in case you're wondering about it. Alright, now the next thing we're going to focus on, and this is the final thing for the app, is we're going to click on 4.0 for Add Listings IDX Search, and then 4.5 for Mobile Property Search. Alright, so 4.0 and then 4.5. Alright, so once we click on 4.0 and then 4.5, if you scroll down a little bit, if your information is not displaying, please click the None option up here, little drop down for None. Alright, and then select your market center name from the drop down list. Alright, so she's a part of 2 market centers, that's why she has 2 options on here. All right, but once we click that drop-down option, then your mobile info or your app info will display immediately. All right, so the first thing we're going to see on here is our mobile URL. Please, 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 please highlight this, copy it, Control-C, Command-C, right-click, copy, all right, and place it somewhere where you can access it. We are going to need this later on. All right, so please, please, please go through and copy that. This is one of the fastest ways that you can actually go through, right, and download your app immediately. All right, so that's one of the fastest ways to go through and download your app right away. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. So if you haven't downloaded your app yet, which more than likely maybe you haven't, all right, that's perfectly fine. Put that app URL over inside your phone's web browser and you can download it right away. All right, it'll actually give you a download option right at the top. All right. Now the next thing we're going to see on here is the mobile text code. All right, mobile text code. That's weird. All right, so under the mobile text code section on here, all right, this is where you can actually send a text message to the number 87778 with that code. All right, so that's going to be the message that you would send to the number 87778. All right, and of course, then it'll actually send back, in this particular case, weird. All right, another URL for them to actually go through and utilize immediately. All right, so that URL that I'll actually send back is going to be this mobile URL right up here so they can download the app immediately. So it kind of all comes back full circle to this mobile URL just to give you a heads up. All right, then the next thing we have on here is our My Agent code. Now, if someone is overzealous and maybe they download the app right away, all right, it might say Keller Williams Realty at the very bottom. All right, if they do that, all right, then you think it can go over to the 3 lines typically at the top left. All right, and if they click on those 3 lines at the top left, they can go to the My Agent section. And if they click on the My Agent section, then they can add inside your app code in order to download their app immediately, all right, to be linked up with you properly. All right. Now the next thing we can actually see on here, all right, is you have the QR code section. All right, so under QR code, all right, we can right-click on QR code, and you can actually do Save Image As if you wanted to save this on here. All right, so if you do Save Image As, Save Picture, Save Image, whatever it might say on your web browser, all right, then you'll be all good to go in order to save that right away. All right, so that way if you want to utilize this on any type of print marketing, any type of email marketing, all right, you'd be more than welcome to, any time basically. All right, so I just want to give you guys a heads up on that one. All right, so this is fantastic, specifically if you don't happen to have a logo. All right, this will be great to use as an alternative for a logo later on too. All right. And the final thing we have down here is mobile app service area. All right, so for the mobile app service area section on here, all right, all you'll have to do is put inside whatever you'd like to service. All right, now if you leave this blank, all right, just to give you a heads up, if you leave this blank on here, all right, then this would automatically display your market center city. All right, so it'll automatically display your market center city. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. So a lot of people below that. That's weird. All right, a lot of people below their name on the app probably don't want to just display the Market Center city. It makes it look like you only work within that certain city. So in this case, you can add inside whatever your service area might be. So maybe I want to put inside serving Greater Portland and Washington area. I hit the character limit. All right, so maybe I want to put inside serving Greater Oregon and Washington areas. Or area. All right, so you can put inside both of those if you wanted to. All right. And of course, then just go and put and check inside this box. If someone does stumble upon your eAgency website somehow, this will allow them just to go through. All right, they can obviously get in the back end, and when they go on to the eAgency site, it'll ask them to download the mobile app instead of going to the eAgency site, which is what we want. So once we click save on here, we'll be all good to go. All right. Now, once again, please copy your mobile URL. Everyone's mobile URL is going to be completely different. I just want to give you a heads up. It's going to be completely different. All right, so copy down your mobile URL because you are going to need that later on. So I'm going to X out of this real quick to get back over to our myKW homepage. Here we go. And remember, you can always just go back over to myKW, .kw.com to access that immediately. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is click the plus sign of myContacts. All right, and this time we're going to go to Add New Contacts, the first option down. All right, so this is where you can actually go through and add brand new contacts. All right. Now, remember, if you were part of that first part, all right, in order to add inside contacts on here, all right, you have to have a first name, a last name, and some type of contact, whether it's an email, phone number, or property address. And remember, you can't have the same contact twice. I want to make sure you guys know that. I can't have the same contact twice. All right, so I'm going to click on Add New Contacts on here. All right, and once we do that, then this is where we can add inside our brand new contact immediately. All right, so in order to add inside a contact, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is put inside the first name, like we were talking about, put inside the last name on here, all right, and then put inside either an email, phone number, or if you scroll down a little bit further, you have a property address. So I'm just going to put inside an email address to be safe. All right, a lot of people usually put inside email addresses and phone numbers. All right, now if I wanted to, I have the bare minimum. I could click save and I'd be done. All right. Now, of course, if you want to add inside phone numbers on here, you're definitely more than welcome to. You can add inside a category as well. Now, the category section will really just help you to categorize everything over on your myContacts section. All right, you can actually change the type on here, whether it's buyer, seller, buyer/seller, agent, renter, investor, vendor, personal contact, which is a newer one, or other. All right, so you can change this to whatever that person that you're adding in might be. You can even add inside a subtype. All right, so maybe they're a buyer that you got from Realtor.com, so you want to put inside Realtor.com on here. Or maybe they're a seller that you got from an open house, so you want to put open house on there. All right, whatever it might be. Now, this is where, in that first part when we were talking about the My Leads section, you could actually categorize a new contact as a lead as well. All right, so under the lead section on here, for the status section that is, all right, we happen to have lead, hot, warm, cold, retry, pending, and sold. All right, so you can change the status to whatever you'd prefer. All right, so in this case, if you want to make the status hot, warm, cold, retry, pending, sold, completely up to you. Now, just to give you a heads up on here, whatever you specify is up to your discretion. All right, so if you say that someone's hot, that's fantastic. Maybe you're saying they're hot because they're looking to purchase a home within the next, 1 to 6 months, or sell a home within the next 1 to 6 months. Now, the next time that you actually have a contact that is hot and fits that description, make sure you add them in on here too. All right, so make sure that you put them in as hot as well. All right, so whatever your criteria is, make sure that you're doing it the same across the board so everything matches. So I'll leave it as lead for the time being, but I can put inside a nickname, gender, company, job title. There are birthday and purchase anniversary campaigns. So if I want to add inside a birthday campaign to come out or a purchase anniversary one, I'm definitely more than welcome to. All right. And all you have to do is just click on this to add inside the date of the birthday. Now, if you notice, it doesn't ask for the year, so you can just give the birthday in either 2018 or 2017, whichever one's closer. All right, and then, of course, for the purchase anniversary, it does ask for the year, so make sure you give the exact date that the purchase anniversary happened on. Now, you can add inside notes for your contact, too, in case you add them in, and then maybe you call them on the phone and you chat with them about viewing a property or chat with them about having an open house. You can document it on here, and it'll give you a date and a timestamp as to when you actually put inside that note. All right, so that'll help out tremendously if you're an organization freak like I am. All right, you can add inside your different physical address for them, whether it's their home address, their work address, all right, where they might be moving to, all right, whatever it might be on here. All right, you can add inside secondary details as well. If you want to link them up with their spouse, significant other, someone else that might be purchasing or selling with them, all right, whoever it might be. Now, the secondary details section does have the option of email and phone number, and that's really just for you to view. All right, if you want to add this person to a campaign as well, you would still have to put them as a contact on their own, all right, with their own email address. All right, just want to give you a heads up on that one. All right, so this is really just to kind of link them up so I know that, hey, with Scott Leroy, here's his wife, Casey, and here's her email address and phone number, too, if I'm looking under Scott's account. But if I wanted to send out emails to Casey, she'd have to be her own contact. All right, then we have some information on what they might be looking for, their activity on here, too. You can see their time frame on here if you just want to give them a very, basic time frame, obviously, where they may be looking in, or their max budget as well. Now, there is the option to send a welcome email to contacts, and I usually suggest avoiding this. All right, and the reason I suggest avoiding this is because at the end of the day, whenever you send out that welcome email, it'll automatically give them a password for the eEdge platform. All right, so it'll give them a password for the eEdge platform. All right, and since you're probably going to be utilizing the Playster website, you don't want to confuse them and give them a password to utilize over on the eEdge website. All right, so I usually suggest avoiding this. And if you have groups, you can then add them to your different group or groups right away by clicking on the little checkbox. Now, we're going to show you next how you can actually add groups as well. All right, but I'm going to go and click that save option down here so I can save this immediately. All right. Now, once I click the save option, just to give you a heads up. All right, so I click save on here and it says there were errors with the following field. Your contact, Scott Leroy, already has this email address. All right, so just to give you a heads up. All right, so with that being said on here. All right, I could click on Scott Leroy where it says already has this email address, and I can actually view that contact in the back end. All right. And it'll actually have it highlighted in red over here too, where the error is as well. All right, so just to give you a heads up. I'm so sorry. I don't know. It usually dings whenever a question comes in over on my other screen, but it hasn't been dinging today, so I'm so sorry. I'm just now seeing this, Maggie. I apologize. Cities or states. So whenever you're actually adding inside the cities on there, that's the main one you want to add for that profile we were talking about previously. So I apologize about that. It usually dings and lets me know that, hey, there's a question over here, and has not been doing that, so I need to double check what's going on. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to click on the contacts option up here at the top. All right, so at the very top in kind of this, it looks like a darker gray bar now. All right, and we're going to go to Manage Groups, that fourth option down. All right, so we're going to hover over, well, not hover, I'm sorry, that's the way it used to be. We're going to click on Contacts and go to Manage Groups. All right, Manage Groups, that fourth option down on here. All right, so Manage Groups, that fourth option down. All right. So once I click on Manage Groups, this is where we can add inside however many groups we want to. Now, back in the day, you used to have up to 50 different groups. Now, I kid you not, you can have up to 1,000 groups. I've never seen anyone come close to it. All right, but you can have up to 1,000 different groups in case you want to display that many. I don't know anyone that would want to have 1,000 groups, but you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, it's completely up to you in this case. All right, so with that being said on here we go. All right, in order to add inside a brand new group, it's pretty simple. Just click the Create New Groups option up here, the little white rectangle, and then as you can see, it starts to kind of, you know, I don't even know, blink maybe is what I'm thinking about. All right, the little line starts blinking like you can start to type inside here, obviously. All right, and whenever that does pop up, then you can type inside whatever group name you want to. All right, so whatever group name you would prefer. All right, now with that being said on here are a couple different group names that you might want to add in. All right, so the first one's going to be 12 Direct, D-I-R-E-C-T, and I'll click that Save option on here. All right, so 12 Direct, D-I-R-E-C-T. I'll click that Save option real quick. All right. And once we click Save, we'll be all good to go. All right, the next one we're going to add inside is going to be 33 Touch, T-O-U-C-H, and we'll click that Save option again. All right, so 33 Touch, T-O-U-C-H. All right, and of course, finally on here, we got 33 Touch. All right, then we're also going to be able to have 8x8 buyer. All right, we'll click that Save option. All right, then obviously if we have 8x8 buyer, we probably also want to have 8x8 seller. All right, so 8x8 buyer and 8x8 seller on here. It's 8x8 buyer, and then once that's done, then we'll make it 8x8 seller as well. And then we'll click that Save option. Alright, so just to give you a heads up on here. All right, now obviously you can have as many groups as you want to, up to 1,000. All right, if you hit 1,000, congratulations. I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit 1,000 before. All right, but this will just help you with your categorization. All right, and one cool thing about the groups now, this has happened a couple months back, is you can actually add groups over to campaigns, right? Specifically email or print campaigns. And whenever you add a new contact to that group, it'll automatically add them to that campaign that the group is linked under. All right, so the reason I said to add inside those 4 groups is because those are the 4 main campaigns that we're going to talk about in our third part. All right, the 12 direct, which is 12 contacts the entire year, so 1 contact per month for 12 months straight. All right, the 33 touch, which is the bread and butter of Keller Williams when it comes to the campaigns, which is 33 contacts the entire year, or about once every week and a half is what it comes out to be roughly. All right, and then 8x8 buyer and 8x8 seller. Those are going to be buyer campaigns. All right, so that's going to be a seller and a buyer campaign 8 times in 8 weeks. That's a little bit more aggressive. All right, so it's about 1 contact per week for 2 months straight. Now, once we have our groups created, let's go and click on the contacts option up here at the top and go to all contacts, that first option down. All right, so all contacts, that first option down on here. All right, so once we click on all contacts, all right, this is going to allow us to go through and, much like it kind of sounds like, view all of our contacts. All right, so that's the good part about it. So we've already gone through how to actually set up contacts. Now we're going to go through how to view all of our contacts. That way we can actually group them and organize them even further. All right, so once I click on all contacts, this is what our back end of our database is going to look like. All right, so just to give you a heads up on here. All right, I've always wondered, I always see this one right up here, and it was added in a while ago, but I always wonder if it's a real name or not, because I know Zack Snyder's obviously the big director, so I've always been intrigued on that. All right, but once we actually view this, then we can actually view the name of the contact. We can view if there's anything due now that we need to do, or we can even add inside different items that we might need to do now or later on. We can view what kind of contact we have for them, whether it's an email or a phone number. All right, and as you can see, if it's highlighted, that means we have it. We can view if they're in any type of groups on here. So if I click on this group option, I can actually see what groups they're currently in, or if I want to add them to another group. All right, we can actually see what marketing they're set up under. All right, or if I want to add them to any type of marketing campaigns as well that we currently have. There we go. All right, now looking for is if they're actually looking for listings over on the eEdge website. All right, same with the properties section. So on those two, you can kind of just leave as is. You don't have to worry about it too much. All right, you can actually add inside listing search, so that way if they are looking for homes, like say if they're a buyer, listing searches might be one of the top things you'll want to add in for them. All right, so that way when new listings come over to the MLS, it'll automatically send them an email saying, hey, here's a new listing that fits your criteria you may want to take a look at. All right. All right, and depending on the market, they may want to look at it as soon as possible, all right, because I know some of the markets are moving pretty quickly. All right, you can view the source of how they actually became a contact. All right, you can view the last activity on here. All right, 5/14/2017. All right, we send an email to this contact. 7/21/2017, the contact opened another email from us. All right, so we can see all these different items on here. We can view their status as well, or a couple different more action items. All right, whether we want to send them an email, a listing, add notes to their history, or view their contact altogether. Now at the top up here, you can also sort by these contacts, whether you want to sort by their activity, their name, their budget, last time we reached out to them, their source, status, when they were created, all right, what type they are. All right, then you can sort them in descending or ascending order, whichever you prefer, with the arrow going down or up. In addition to that, you can also click on the filters option on here, all right, in case you want to actually filter out contacts. So depending on how big your database is, this might help out tremendously. All right, because in this case, you can actually go through and filter out your contacts if you're looking for a particular contact by their name, by their phone number. Or you can even see, do they have a phone number, yes or no? So you can search for contacts that have a phone number if you're trying to do any cold calling that day. All right, over here we can actually view by email, mailing address. We can actually see, do they have a mailing address, yes or no? All right, we can view their status on here. All right, whether they're lead, hot, warm, cold. All right, we can actually view their email address status, whether it's a deliverable email address, if they're subscribed to campaigns, if we've set them up on those listing alerts, they can receive daily, weekly, whatever it might be, notifications on new listings that fit what they're looking for. If they've unsubscribed from campaigns or listing alerts, so we can know who's unsubscribed to get back in touch with them. All right, if they have an undeliverable email, which basically means you have the email address, but it's not deliverable, so it might be a bad email. All right, or if they don't have an email at all. All right, so you can look through a bunch of different items on here as to how you actually want to go through and filter out these contacts so you can make sure you're contacting everyone immediately. All right, so I'm going to click the X button up here. Now, if we do want to go through and add our contacts to a particular group, all right, you can actually group multiple contacts, all right, outside of obviously just going through and clicking the Add button or the Group option if you want to just add one person. If you want to add multiple contacts, just put a check inside the box to the left-hand side of their name. All right, and when we do that, we can either bulk update the contacts or we can print labels. So in this case, I want to bulk update the contacts. All right, so I definitely want to bulk update the contacts on here. All right, now when I click on bulk update on here, all right, then as you can see, I can either edit the records or I can send the contacts to the trash. Now, if you want to just bulk delete contacts, there is an option to permanently delete all these contacts too. All right, that's under the send the contacts to trash. Now, if you send them to trash, that just changed their status, but it actually keeps them, all right, in this particular case, as a contact in case you want to access them later on. All right, you're not obligated to, but it will allow you to access them later on. All right, so with that being said on here, I'm going to go and click on the Edit the Records option, which was selected originally, and I'll click Continue so I can actually continue on even further to see what we can bulk update for these contacts. All right, so once I click Continue on here, I wanted to give you guys a second to catch up. Here we go. All right, then as you can see, I can bulk update the groups or campaigns. I can bulk update their category, company, status, or history notes. All right, so just to give you a heads up. All right, so in this case, I'm really just going to focus on the groups, obviously. All right, so once I click on groups or campaigns, I can either add to groups or remove from groups. You can do one or the other. All right, and you can even add to campaigns or remove from campaigns too. All right, but with that being said on here, then I happen to have my 12 direct, 33 touch. I have an 8x8, 8x8 buyer. All right, so I have all these different groups that I can add them to. All right, so whatever groups you have set up, you can add them to multiple ones, or you can add them to one or the other, whatever you prefer. So if I wanted to add them all over to 12 direct, I can click on the 12 direct option, click update now, and then it would add them immediately. All right, so just to give you a heads up on there. So then it would add them over immediately in this case. All right, so I just want to make sure you guys know that. All right, so I'm going to click cancel. I don't want to mess anything up for. All right, but that's how simple it is to go through and group your contacts. Now, once again, when we get to our third part, having your contacts in groups is going to help you tremendously. It's going to make your life so much easier when you start to send out marketing pieces, specifically via email. It's going to make everything so much simpler. All right, now when taking a look at this is a little bit different if you guys have come to our class in the past. They just changed this up here at the top for our little navigation bar. So if you ever want to just search for a contact, there's a Find a Contact option up here where you can just do a quick search for it. All right, you can always click the Home option, and that'll take you back to kind of the main dashboard home of your eEdge account. Now, on the Home section, this is where you can actually find all of your leads as well. All right, so it'll actually have our new contacts on here, and if you recall, she had 71 new leads. So here are the new leads that you might want to take a look at, or even your upcoming reminders as well. All right, the contact section we already took a look at on here, how to add a contact, how to add groups, how to group those contacts, what the all contacts section looks like. And one of the biggest questions we always receive is, if I add my contacts over to my KW dashboard, my KW database, will KW have control of those contacts? And the answer is no, they will not. All right, you can import and export your contacts at any time. All right, we have a listing section on here where you can actually view all the listings, either your active listings or your office active listings, as long as your IDX is activated. All right, so that way you can use them for marketing. We have our marketing section on here that we're going to talk about in our third part, where we can view our marketing center, which is kind of a culmination of all of our marketing pieces. We can view our campaigns on here as well, and even all of our designs that we've created are all templates that are available for us to use. All right, if you ever need help, there's obviously a help option on here too. All right, you can view your messages up here. All right, in case you ever want to view any of the eEdge messages that you've sent out, any message, even if it's a marketing campaign piece from the platform, you can view that on here. All right, you can view them on the sent items section, or you can even compose an email too. All right, and then in addition, you can also view reminders, whether it's a reminder from a campaign, a reminder that you've set up. All right, you can actually view the date range on here too. So this is another way to kind of have task-oriented items of what you need to do. All right, so just to give you a heads up on that one. All right, so at the top right, let's go and click on the account option. And once we click on account, the first thing we're going to select is my account, that first option down under account administration. All right, my account, that first option down. All right, so once I click on my account on here, all right, and once we do that, let's go and click the edit option up here. All right, so that way we can go through and edit everything immediately. All right, so go and click that blue edit button up here at the top left. Here we go. All right, now once we do that, then we can actually update our name. That'll display on all of our marketing pieces. We can add inside a title if you want to. Or you can update your designations that would display on all marketing pieces. You can update your license number as well. All right, so there are a bunch of different items that you can actually take a look at on here to update. Now the biggest one outside of the name to update up here. All right, and obviously if you do need to put inside your license number to display, this is a fantastic place to put that on here. All right, but obviously over on the right-hand side, we're going to have phone numbers. Now, the phone number at the top is going to be your mobile or cell phone number. That's why it kind of looks like an iPhone or an Android. And the one at the bottom that looks like a briefcase is going to be, or kind of a toolbox too, all right, is going to be your phone number for your work, all right, your work phone number. Now, you don't have to have both of them. You can have either or. It's okay. All right, so in this case, you can put inside one or the other. You can put inside both if you'd like to. They will display over on the eEdge website, but it'll also display over on your marketing materials. That's the main one to focus on since the Placer site's your main site to utilize. All right, so you can put inside dashes, dots, spaces, parentheses, whatever you prefer. All right, completely up to you in this case. All right, now with that being said over here, then we also happen to have our external email. Now for the external email section, let's go and put inside our business email address, whatever business email you'd like to utilize. All right, so put inside your business email address, whatever business email you want to use, whether it's your KW.com email, a custom one like she has, a Gmail account. All right, once again, this can be changed anytime you want to. All right, but the reason I suggest putting inside your business email address is because under the marketing reply to email, you can select either your eEdge email, all right, or your business external email. All right, this is the main one we want to focus on here. All right. So with that being said, I usually suggest for the marketing reply to email, putting inside your external email, the one that we just selected on here previously. All right, and the reason for that is because whenever you send out an email, if you guys were here for that first part, I said whenever you send out an email from the platform, it has to come from the eEdge email, but whenever that is done and someone replies back to it, there's a remarketing and reply to option that can reply back immediately. All right, so just to give you a heads up. All right, so I'm going to select that option on here. All right, and then for the marketing website, go and put inside whatever business website you'd like to utilize. All right, so you can put inside whatever your marketing website address might be. All right. Now they moved this around a little bit, but then over here we have our marketing address. Let's make sure that's our office address. All right, make sure it is your office address. Do not put inside your home address. I don't put in your home address on here. All right, we see that happen all the time. All right, so do not put on your home address on here. Make sure it's your office address instead. All right, and then of course over here we have our My Mobile App section. Now under the My Mobile App section, make sure that you have your app URL. If you guys recall at the very beginning of this class, I said it so many times, please copy this, please copy this, please copy this. All right, because this is where you want to paste inside your app URL. Because on all of your marketing pieces that you create, specifically the email marketing ones, it's going to give you the option to download your mobile app. All right, and this is the app URL that it would take you to. All right, so we want to make sure we download that properly. You don't want them to go over to a generic KW app instead. All right, so once that's completed, click that save option, and you'll be all good to go. All right, so once I click that save option, now we're perfect. Now the cool part about this is it'll automatically update. All right, so it's going to automatically update for us on all of our marketing pieces that we create moving forward. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. It'll automatically update. All right, now if there are any marketing pieces that we created previously, those would not update. All right, so those would already be set in stone. All right. Now, if we scroll down to the very, very bottom down here, you can add inside additional social media URLs if you'd like to. But I'm going to focus more on these three items. All right, the website image, and marketing logo. All right, particularly these two. Now, the website image and the marketing image are typically going to be headshots. All right, whereas the marketing logo will be much like it sounds like a logo. All right, now the website image has to be a JPEG. All right, so if you happen to have a JPEG or anything of that sort, all right, just make sure you add that in. All right, and all you have to do to add inside these images is click the Edit option and click Browse to find your image and then Upload once you have it attached. All right, so that's all you'll have to do in this case. All right. And once I click Browse, much like we did before, I think I had it over on my downloads. I have a JPEG on this, .jpg or .jpeg. I can click Upload and upload immediately. Now, same thing goes for the marketing image. We want to make sure this is some type of headshot for us to use. And then for the marketing logo, do not put inside a generic KW logo. All right, don't put inside a generic KW logo, just to give you a heads up. All right, make sure if you are going to put inside a KW logo on here, all right, that you put inside one that's actually for your office. All right, because each marketing piece that you create is going to have a generic KW logo. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that one. All right. So I'm going to get out of that real quick. I'm going to scroll all the way back up to the top. All right, and then that is going to be it for the end of this second part. All right, so our third part is going to go over to the marketing section, all right, which is actually going to start by clicking on this market. I was about to say my marketing, this marketing option up here. But we're actually going to start once again from the myKW homepage. So in case you guys come back, you'll know how to access this immediately. All right, so once again, I'm going to go get a cough drop. I have not talked this much in quite some time. All right, the holidays are a fantastic time to not talk, it feels like. All right, so I'm going to go get a cough drop. Give me about 2-3 minutes. I'll be right back, and then we'll finish up our third part, and we should finish right on time around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so this is the end of part 2. Part 3 is going to go over all of our marketing pieces, and I will see you guys in a couple seconds.